The very first university I ever went to right after graduating high school was Fudan University in Shanghai in China. And unfortunately, I was not vlogging back then. I was not making any videos, so I don't have any footage from that time, which I really regret today because it would be so fun to be able to go back to this time for my videos, but unfortunately this is not the case, and that's why we just have to deal with what we have, which is my memory. And also on top of my memory, as you might know, or maybe you don't know, I used to live in Shanghai before, then I went back to Copenhagen, then I went back to Shanghai. And when I moved back to Shanghai, one of the things that I promised myself I will do is going back to Fudan, going back to the campus, and making a video about my experience at Fudan University. So this is it. First, let me tell you a little background story why I even went to Fudan in the first place. So basically, I was just about to graduate high school in Denmark, in Copenhagen, and at this time I was not thinking about going to China at all. I never thought about going to China, to be honest. I did not study Chinese. I've never been to China. I didn't know anyone who would go to China for other purpose than just holiday. And one day I was just sitting in a library talking to my friend, and my friend told me about his friend who I never met in my life, but thank you to this friend of a friend that basically influenced my life so much. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I'm sitting at this library and my friend starts telling me about his friend who went to China to study Chinese. And my reaction was like, what? At first, I was just like kind of intrigued by this idea, and I thought it was just kind of weird. I knew people who would go to study in the UK, somewhere else in Europe, or in the States, even Australia, but I honestly never heard about anyone coming up with the idea of going to university in China. And I guess the kind of person I am, I was really intrigued by that because I'm really like into things that are, I don't want to say weird. It's not like I'm into weird things. I have no idea how to explain it to you. Basically, I liked the idea that it was something different, something that not anyone I knew was doing. At this point in my life, as many people are when they're about to graduate high school, I was kind of lost. I kind of knew what I was supposed to do with my life. I thought I would just go to Copenhagen Business School and study business with German. I wanted to study German. But deep inside, I kind of knew that it's not something that really excites me. I was just kind of like, yeah, okay, I'll do it, whatever, you know? And as soon as my friend told me about China, I got so excited because it was just something completely different, something I've never thought about. And I started researching online. I started researching about China and universities in China. Okay, this is like becoming a story of my life video, not Fudan video. Sorry, okay? Sorry. It's important. No, I don't know if it's that important. I'll try to be fast. Anyways, I was researching universities in China, and I read somewhere that when you come to China as a university student, international university student, you stay at international students dorm. And I thought that sounded really cool because you go to China, you get to explore China, the Chinese culture, but at the same time you stay with other international students and you not only experience China, but you also learn about other countries and other cultures. So I thought, this is it. This is what I'm gonna do with my life. I'm gonna go to China and I'm gonna stay at an international students dorm. So this is how I chose my future university. I googled international students dorms in Shanghai, and Fudan University was the first thing that came up. So I was like, yep, Fudan looks good. I'm gonna go to Fudan. At this point, I had 2 weeks left to apply for Fudan. There was only 2 weeks until the last date when you could apply. So basically, I didn't really have time to think about what I was doing. I don't think I really knew what I was doing. I was just like, great idea, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to China. I didn't know anything about China. I couldn't speak any Chinese. I didn't know one single person in China, and I didn't know one single person that has been to China and done a similar thing that I could talk to. Sometimes until this day, I think like, how did it even happen? I don't know. But thank God that it happened, because I had an amazing experience in China. And as you know, I came back to China, which means that it was good. I liked it, okay? I liked it.
And this is the story about how I randomly ended up in China. Something that was a very spontaneous decision turned out to be one of the best things that ever happened to me. For that 1 year, I studied Chinese at Fudan, and I stayed at an international students' dorm, where I did meet people from all around the world and made tons of new friends.
This street right here is my street. I used to live here. During my first semester, I used to have classes in this building, and during the break we would always come out from here and then we would go to the bakery.
Overall, I had time of my life, and studying and living at Fudan was such a great experience. And Fudan will always have a very special place in my heart.
Just to give you some quick background facts about Fudan for those of you that don't know.
Fudan University, founded in 1905, is one of the oldest and biggest universities in China. It's often considered as one of the top universities in the country. There are approximately 40,000 students attending Fudan, and out of these 40,000, 3,000 to 4,000 are international students.
Fudan is also one of the most popular choices for international students coming to Shanghai. As I said, because the university has a really good reputation, and also, yeah, probably that's why. But also because there are a lot of English classes comparing to some other Chinese universities. When I went to Fudan, I had classes with people from literally everywhere. Americans, Europeans, Australians, Asians.
Fudan has 4 campuses, all located in Shanghai. But the main one where you will probably end up if you're international students is in Yangpu, the north part of Shanghai. The campus is huge and very green. It will probably take you 30 minutes to get from one end to another.
So in my second semester, I used to have classes in this building, somewhere over there. And during the breaks, we would go to this family mart.
And you can basically find everything you need on the campus, from shops to bakeries to canteens. The area surrounding the campus is a very lively student neighborhood, where you can find pretty much anything from cheap Chinese noodles to malls offering popular international brands and foreign restaurants.
You can study multiple different things at Fudan, basically everything from law to business to medicine. Everything. I read that Fudan offers around 100 bachelor degrees and more than 200 master degrees. Of course, majority of these things, big majority, are in Chinese, but there are also some options in English. I know that Fudan has a couple of master degrees in English and a couple of MBA degrees in English as well. The final thing that I want to talk about is accommodation. So if you're coming to Fudan, you'll probably wonder, where should I stay? I personally stayed at international students dorm, as you know from this little 10 minutes long story that I told you in the beginning. I'm on my way to my old home now, and this building right there is international students dorm. And I would very highly recommend you to do the same. I think that staying at the dorm was almost like the best part of my whole experience, because it's just so nice to live with all your friends and from people from so many different places. It was just really interesting. It was really cool. So I'm in the canteen right now. This is the canteen where we always used to eat. Oh man, it feels so weird to be back, like alone without all my friends. It really makes me miss them. The dorm is obviously not anything luxurious, but it's also not that bad. You can have your own single room, you have your own bathroom, there are bathtubs. The rooms are fine, they're simple, but they're fine. You have your own space. However, if staying at the dorm is not something for you, I would strongly recommend you to stay as close to the campus as possible. I would definitely not recommend you to live downtown because, well, Shanghai is a big city, and Fudan, it's not really that close from downtown. It takes like good half an hour. So basically staying downtown is pain in the ass. Imagine taking metro during rush hour. Rush hour in Shanghai is not fun. I personally really loved staying at the campus and being close to school. And I think in general the whole area around Fudan is really nice. It's a very like student friendly area. There are so many like restaurants and cafes and basically everything that students need. As I said before, I really loved my time at Fudan. I had the best time ever. Choosing Fudan and choosing Shanghai was life-changing decision and amazing experience, so I can only highly recommend it.
Fudan will always have a very special place in my heart. I came here when I was only 19, 20. I was really young. I've never been to China before. I felt very lost and confused. I thought that I made like a huge mistake coming here, but then of course eventually I end up loving it, and coming here was the best decision ever. And this year that I spent in this university was one of the best years, if not the best year of my life.
Thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I will see you soon. Bye.